let's get into two of the selections that we took hunting. Justin, what you got?
So, the one I've got is the Aurora Borealis vodka.
Okay.
That's what I brought with me.
Interesting. Okay, typical vodka, 80 proof, 40%.
Which is actually the legal standard in Utah. Or in the
Legal
US.
standard in Utah. Wow.
Legal standard in the U.S. In order for a vodka to qualify, it must be a minimum of 40% alcohol, 80 proof.
All right. So it's a minimum.
And this one's just kind of what everything stands.
And this one's out of Colorado. I remember buying this one. This is a Colorado local vodka.
Yep, it's bottled by Feline Incorporated in Denver.
Okay.
It is distilled from wheat.
All right.
And I know we talked about this a little bit on episode 1 with our gluten-free Silver Dollar.
Is this one a gluten-free? This one's not. No, there's no way it's gluten-free.
This one has wheat, so I'm
assuming this
assuming
is a wheat vodka.
This one is not gluten-free.
Well, most vodkas are either potato or wheat, and so we're in familiar territory.
But with two of the last...
There've been corn.
I've done have been corn mash.
Well, the Crystal Head was corn, and the Silver Dollar was corn, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and then the other one that I've done, the other alcohol I've chosen is the Johnny Walker Gold Label.
Correct, yeah.
So, 2 of the 3 have been corn so far. Anyway, that's the one that I brought. What did you bring up here?
Well, I brought one that I've had sitting on the shelf for quite a while, and I was waiting for a good excuse to crack it, and hunting was a good excuse. Good excuse as any I can find. It is the Dalmore 12-year Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. This one... Go ahead.
I was looking at it and I could not find a proof or a volume.
I'm pretty sure when I bought the box, it said it was a 80 proof, 40%, if I remember correctly, because I do remember there being an indicator on it somewhere. This one, though, however, I do believe is the entry level of their lineup. They have a 12, 15, 18. Then they have some different cast finishes and small batch. However, though, we'll get into it. So, do we want to start with the vodka, or do we want to start with the whiskey?
Let's start with the
whiskey.
The whiskey there.
Alrighty. Grab a couple shot glasses real quick. Oh, no. Never mind. I apologize. All right. Grab our neat glasses here. These are an amazing... I really like these glasses, actually. I feel like they really do help enhance the ability to nose and taste. And if you're anything like me, sometimes my nose kind of sucks. So, and obviously we've already tasted these. It's just...
We have, but we're gonna go through the steps in the process to make sure we give you...
There's that for you, sir.
You know, you get a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of caramel on the nose from the cork.
Right.
You can definitely smell the oak on there.
Yeah, and that's one thing in the other one, though, that I'm not smelling a lot of, though, is that smoky campfire type smell, which is, I think it's called peated. Or
cherry.
A little cherry there on the nose, huh?
A little cherry there on the nose.
Alrighty, well, go ahead and take your initial there. Kind of see what we get on that. One thing I always like to point out on the initial taste, it's always your palatine taste. I got some oak. I got almost like it was definitely oak. Definitely an oak presence on that initial taste.
I get oak and caramel.
Too smooth. It's just that smooth. This is a dangerous whiskey.
This is a dangerous whiskey. There is a burn to it, but it is exceedingly delayed, and it's so mild that you don't even really notice that it's
well.
there.
And for someone like me, there is no burn. This is almost like just drinking a very amazing. On my second one there, I got cherry, and I got that red grape again that you and I were discussing. That red grape and cherry, and then I got the oak in there.
Yeah, the red grape, the cherry, the oak, and I get a tiny, tiny hint of smokiness. Not like Johnny doesn't. It's not there, and it's not.
Like that was my third hit. I got the cherry, got the red grape, I got the oak, and I got a little bit of smoke there. Like right there, the smoke's coming back to me a little bit.
But it's just a very, 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 very mild at the end smoke.
I'm not gonna lie. It was unlike anything I've ever had in a Scotch whiskey.
Oh no,
that just not even fair. That one's dangerous.
That one's very dangerous because like I said, that burn is exceedingly delayed. exceedingly delayed and is very, very mild.
And then if you're used to bourbons or whiskeys at all, you don't even get it. It doesn't exist.
But that on that second drink, it's gone.
Well, and what's good about the Dalmore, I feel like, and I talk about this a lot with the bourbons and whiskeys, is you can judge a good bourbon and whiskey by its progression. And I feel like this one, it's got some very unique and interesting flavors. Like, I think the one that I have never tasted before in a whiskey or a bourbon, even in a Scotch whiskey, is the red grape. There was definitely a very predominant red grape in there, almost like you would get out of maybe like a wine, like a red blend almost.
Almost, but it's the what I find so great about this particular Scotch whiskey is that red grape flavor complements super well in there.
It did it very well, and we don't really get that. Like I said, this is the only one that I've ever tasted where I've actually, like, you and I stared at each other for a good minute. We were like, what is that? Because I think I mentioned strawberry or raspberry at one point, and I was like, no, I just can't put my finger on. You went red grape, and I've thought about it really hard, and I went, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's a grape.
I remember we first tried this, and we were trying to put our noses and fingers on exactly what fruits we were getting, because we knew we were getting fruit. We just didn't know which one.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is this is another rare occasion with the Dalmore where nose doesn't always transfer to the palate. However, I feel like what we nosed did transfer to the palate and then some, in a good way.
Oh, I agree. It transferred to the palate in a great way. This one, for me, as far as taste and aroma goes, I'm giving this thing a solid 5 out of 5.
And I'd have to give it a 5, too. It's just... when I say it's a dangerous Scotch whiskey, it's a dangerous Scotch whiskey. I mean, you and I, if we didn't have stuff to do tonight, we'd probably drink this whole bottle. You could kill that whole bottle.
You could kill that whole bottle
and be rolling around on the floor.
And not even realize you killed the whole bottle.
Until it hit you.
Exactly.
And that's what's scary about that, is it's that good. All right, Justin, let's go to our next category. We got drinkability. You're not the huge bourbon and whiskey. You're getting
right.
broken into this. I want to hear your take on this one because this is unique.
Now, this is unique, but the thing we talk about with drinkability is not only neat, but it is mixed as well. So go ahead and mix us something up here. But yeah, as far as drinkability goes, we talk about this, and it's would you drink it at home by yourself? Would you order it at the bar, at an open bar, cost notwithstanding? And how does it drink both straight and mixed? So let's get into the mixed here.
Very fruity. I get that smoke, but it's like fruity smoke. Very fruity smoke there. There's no burn. It's almost like a juice.
It is basically a juice. There's no burn whatsoever, but it's almost like a fruit punch
Smoky
cocktail.
Punch. Like that's not even dangerous, folks. That's lethal.
Oh, that is absolutely lethal.
We're having a bad day. If we ever need a pass day, oh God.
Oh yeah, that's a mixed in that simple old fashioned from Stirrings.
Oh, I could see a really fun night with that.
That's kill a fifth without even knowing you killed a fifth. That is super dangerous.
And that's when I think you have a very unique, in the brown liquors, that's when you've gotten something very unique.
It is. And, I'm going to do something that don't often do.
Oh, I'm curious. Let's hear it.
This is going to get another solid 5 out of it.
Okay, I would have to give it another solid 5, too. Here's the thing. Just because it's smooth, just because it's very palatable, it's not short on flavor. And I think that's why experienced and people that have been drinking whiskeys and scotches and bourbons for a while, and they're very palatized to it, they're not going to be disappointed. And again, this is the low tier of Dalmore's lineup. Like I said, they have a 12, a 14, 15 year, I can't remember exactly which one it is, and then they have the 18 year.
Yeah.
And for this being their entry level, this thing is
dangerous.
Very big on flavor, though. That is huge for me.
Well, that's the thing is, it's got huge amounts of flavor. It's ridiculously smooth. It is a dang good drink.
Absolutely.
This
very
is
good bottle.
one that this next category is going to be a make or break moment for this.
Okay, cost. All righty, you want to know what I paid for it? You're gonna want to know. All right, I paid MSRP. It's $80 straight up. It's what it cost.
Okay, now I did some research on it.
I may have paid $70. I can't remember.
This bottle goes anywhere from, at the low end, that I've found, is $69.99.
All right, so $70. I may have paid that.
At the high end, though, I'm seeing it go for $85.
All righty. Here's the thing. I didn't pay over $80 for it. I know that for a fact. I didn't pay over $80.
Okay.
I could have caught it on a good day, and it was $70. I may have even paid $75, but it was right there.
You know, that's a dangerous zone we've talked about before.
It's so competitive.
It's extremely competitive. However, what else is in this zone?
Well, you've got Johnny Walker Gold Label. You've even can get a Johnny Walker 18 sometimes at 90. And we've talked about
let's 85 being your cap.
Okay, we've got Elijah Craig's in there. We've got some Woodford. We got Woodford Reserve Double Oak. We've got some really, really hard hitting, solid competitors. We've got the Barrel Proof, that Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is in that. The Johnny Walker Green, Johnny Walker Gold. We have a lot of heavy hitters in that category.
We do. However,
this one's totally different. This is a totally different tasting, unique.
For me, this particular Scotch whiskey, if you had to guess, what do you think I would pay for that? What do you think my opinion on the cost is going to be?
Hold on, folks. I got to get a read on his face here. Because remember, this guy's a cheap ass some days.
Not only that, I'm not a huge fan of the
That's
brown
what I'm saying.
liquors.
I got to look at him. 70, maybe 90. I'm going to go between 70 and 90.
I'd pay $100 for a bottle.
Holy cow, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the surprise.
That right there hits, to me, the only thing that I think Johnny Walker Gold Label does better is makes a better Christmas drink.
The Wassail.
The Wassail.
That was great.
Beyond that,
see, but
that bottle hits so well.
And it drinks better than the Johnny.
It drinks better than the Johnny. It drinks better than the Johnny Walker Green Label. It drinks better than the Elijah Craig's that I've had with you.
Again, though,
me,
what about the Macallan?
The Macallan.
Because if we're comparing the Johnny and this and the Macallan that I've had you try,
the Macallan's probably the only one
that you've struggled with a little bit.
That I've struggled with a little bit.
And to be fair, that's a double cast. And we'll talk about that one later.
But this one right here hits above the weight class that I would put him in.
I agree. I think are we both in agreement? It's got to get a solid 5 on us.
It's going to get a solid 5 for both of us from this because, again, a $70 to $80 bottle of Scotch whiskey, to me, is Johnny Walker Gold Label. He's better than Johnny Walker.
Well, and here's the thing. If you look at, when you start getting into the Scotches, the single malts, and the Scotch whiskeys even, $80, $70, that's your, you have your base tier, and then you have this tier. So we're at the lower end of the spectrum here on a lot of these, because your average cost for a mid-tier bottle of Scotch is realistically, for a good bottle, I apologize, I should say good bottle of Scotch, because I got one in there that's like $30. We'll get into that one later. It's Glenlivet. Anyway, you're $100 to $110 to get a good single malt. And that's just the reality of the
But the fact that bottle is going for anywhere from 70 to like 85. But he hits smoother and just with so much flavor when compared to others in that category. I don't think he belongs there. I think he belongs in one tier up.
Well, and that would be the Johnny Walker Gold 18-year, or that'd be the Macallan Sherry Cast finish. A couple other ones I can't think of right off the top of my head. But my biggest thing now is, and this is yet to come, we'll talk about this later, I'm really curious now because the 15-year version of this is like, I think it's $90 or $100.
Well,
it's not that much more. And this is why I'm getting excited, because I don't have that bottle yet. Because I was waiting to crack this bottle to see if it was even a road I want
buy
to go
the
down.
bottle.
I'm working on it.
Christopher, buy the bottle. This is
It's a knockout. It's
a
knockout.
100
punch.
knockout out of the park, which I can.
Overall, we got to give it a 5. I got to give it a 5 on overall.
I also got to give it a 5. I can't. There's nothing negative I can say about this bottle.
And that's just it. There's nothing negative that this bottle is impacted. I mean, look at the bottle even. I love the stag on this. I mean,
it's a beautiful silver stag.
I love the red, because I think it's based off a red stag, but I mean, just the bottle itself. I mean, that's a bottle you would display.
It's a beautifully done bottle, and it's a very well done.
I could see you having, like, even if you were like having a business like a business meeting or something. Oh, you needed something where it's like, okay, let's just be honest, folks. Most of our deals get done on the golf course. For those of us that golf, we're not stupid. We know how this goes. Sometimes, when you know your audience, you got some clients out on the golf course trying to be a little like, hey, I'm gonna sweeten the pot here a little bit. Well, I can tell you, folks, right now, you sneak a little bit of that in the old flask there. But again, upscale party, you want to throw a nice party. That is a bottle. If you want to wow your guests or your clients, this is a bottle that is not going to completely break the bank. But this is a bottle that's going to say, hey, I went out and didn't just buy like a basic Woodford or a Wild Turkey 101 or even like dare I even say like a Russell's Reserve, not just a 10-year, but the single barrel. You're gonna stand out.
You're gonna stand out. That bottle's gonna catch somebody's eye, and whether they know anything about it or not,
it's gonna go over very positive.
It's gonna go very, very positively.
Absolutely.
It's gonna, yeah.
All right.
It's a great one. This is a first.
I was not expecting this because you didn't even score Johnny like this, folks. You didn't even do Johnny. Go watch that episode if you haven't already. He brags about Johnny, and crap, he's going to kill another one.
I love Johnny. Johnny has always been great for me. He's been my favorite Scotch whiskey blend ever.
Well, and what's funny, though, this isn't a blend. This is a single malt.
I know.
So you've gone into a realm above even what Johnny is.
But Johnny is a Scotch whiskey. That is a Scotch whiskey.
But Johnny's blended. He's not. He's single malt. So you're going into more of a pure...
It's
still in the same realm. I get what you're saying.
It's in the same realm. They're part of a very similar category, but...
You got perfect scores.
It is a perfect score. This is I think the second or third one you've done with a perfect score.
I think it's the second one.
But...
All right, let's get into Aurora Borealis. What do you get on the nose there? Do you get the... Yeah, I get a little bit of the hairspray. Still get a little bit of that hairspray. I think that's just...
It is burning water. We've talked about this.
We'll see how burning the water is today.
Vodka. The word vodka comes from burning water.
Yep. Alrighty.
I don't remember exactly which language that came from.
Probably German or something.
It's Polish, I believe.
That's right. Didn't we talk about that? Vodka did not originate in Russia like a lot of us thought, including myself. It's actually Polish.
It originated in Poland, and the word vodka comes from burning water. See, and I don't even really get that hairspray.
See, here's what's funny about this one to me. I'm going to go first on this one. Okay, this one is smooth. This is a very smooth, clean. I get almost zero taste out of it. Here's where it throws me off so badly, though. When I nose it, I get that kerosene hairspray smell. So it initially triggers that, kind of like the Silver Dollar did, where it's just going to burn a little bit on me, and I just don't.
But that's the thing, is this...
It's kind of almost, like you said, it's almost a great vodka where it's odorless. It's not odorless. Trust me, it is not odorless. For someone like me, it is not odorless. It is almost completely tasteless, though. And you're looking at me, I'm standing here like, I'm fine. It didn't knock me out. It didn't have this huge taste effect on me.
And you if you haven't watched yet, watch our episode where we do the Silver Dollar vodka.
And the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
And each one of us, that episode, almost fell on our butts.
That dropped both of us.
Like, each one of those drinks, opposites, obviously. The vodka, I stood standing and was fine. And the Elijah Craig almost put me on my ass. But the vodka kept me standing. I have not put any in that.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you did. So the mixed cocktail we got going on is kind of a, I don't know. I kind of like pineapple juice, so we decided to go with the pineapple and vodka today. It's kind of a fruit cocktail.
It's just, it's one of those simple, basic type of screwdriver where you mix one fruit juice and that's it.
See, here's the thing. I'm not getting a huge... See, I kind of like to taste the alcohol in my cocktails. I'm really not tasting it, which I know that's supposed to be the take on a good vodka. However, I will say this: I get a little bit of on the back hit, barely.
That's the thing.
It's barely there.
Before we start talking about drinkability and in that mixed drink, we gotta finish our taste and aroma.
You good? You're good. We got it. It's fine, man. I gave it a 4.
That's respectable out of you for a vodka.
Well, and the only reason why it gets a 4 and it doesn't get any higher is because when you smell it, it's so off-putting. It's scary almost. I
disagree.
But that's okay though, because everybody noses differently.
You're right, but and you compared it to the Silver Dollar a little bit.
I feel like the Silver Dollar nosed better than that.
The Silver Dollar, in my opinion, noses worse than that.
See, that's weird because I thought it nosed better.
However, that tasted better to me.
See, that tasted better to me too, obviously. So that's why I give it a solid 4.
See, and I'm going to give it a solid 5 because
that makes sense.
It meets that criteria that I set for a good vodka of odorless and tasteless. There is no taste.
No.
To me, there's almost no odor whatsoever.
Well, and there's no burn. That's the thing, though, is
it's smooth.
I've had a few vodkas where... So, this is the vodka I'm going to compare it to, and we'll get to this one later, but my vodka is Goosey.
Is Grey Goose, yeah.
And that is a strong competitor for me to Grey Goose.
Well, see, for me, my great go-to has always also been Grey Goose.
Okay.
However, that Silver Dollar I felt tasted phenomenal. And I was ready to replace Grey Goose with Silver Dollar. However, after looking at our local stores, Silver Dollar's not in there.
No, I've got to get it either in Colorado or Vegas, basically.
Yeah, we got to get it out of state.
Which is weird to me because you can get smoke... I don't know. Can you get smoke wagon here yet?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Okay, that's fine.
However...
And again, folks, when we do these reviews, they are the reviews of what we can get in our regions and where we go. I apologize if you're not able to get them in the regions that you live in. I know the Dalmore, that's a pretty widespread. I don't know about Aurora Borealis because they are they're a smaller distillery out of Colorado.
And it's just like the Silver Dollar, a smaller distillery out of Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're growing huge and fast, though.
But I know that, but they're still smaller. So
both of us gave it a 5. I'm impressed on that, actually. On drinkability.
On drinkability, we both give it a 5 because in that mixed drink, we talked about a little bit, almost no
burn. There was no burn.
No, I say almost because on that very end, you get a little bit that kind of hits you back here.
Yeah, but that was the alcohol taste I was talking about that I actually like.
Yeah. Me, I prefer the less of that I have, the happier I am.
You've always been like that on that type of an alcohol. I feel like, though, for someone who's not a big
I've always been like that
drinker,
on all of the alcohols. I've felt that the more I can just drink it like a soda,
the better it is. Yeah,
which it was part of what makes that Dalmore so dangerous.
Dangerous.
Because
but here's the thing though: once you get past the nose, that's a very, very good vodka, and that's why I got a 5 for me because I'm not a huge vodka guy. I struggle with vodkas. At the same time, though, that's describing almost your perfect description of what a vodka should be. That's why, to me, in the drinkability, it's got to get a 5 for me because it's meeting those criterias, except on the nose. But it's still, at the end of the day, though, that's more of the taste and aroma category, not the drinkability category.
Right. And for me, this thing is just...
It's a great bottle. It's a
great bottle.
It's a good one to drink.
Now, cost. Okay. This is one that, because of how small the distillery is, I have not been able to find...
$18.99 is what I paid for it.
Yeah. I haven't been able to do any research on the cost because I can't find it.
I got it for $18.99. It was under $20.
And for under $20.
It's a solid bottle. Actually, I might have paid $22. I can't remember. I buy a lot of alcohol. It was between $18 and $22. That's what I paid.
But
I didn't
way,
pay any more than that. I know I didn't.
When that is what you paid for it, and we've talked about this a little bit, you like this a lot better than the Silver Dollar.
Oh yeah, it's not making me fall on my butt.
I wouldn't say I like it a lot better than the Silver Dollar, but it's right up there with the Silver Dollar.
Right.
And as far as cost goes, $25 a bottle, it's definitely one that's staying on the shelf.
It's going to stay on the shelf. It's a good one to stay on the shelf.
Like, it's probably going to stay on the shelf over the Silver Dollar.
See, and that's what's weird to me, though, is I'm going to keep the Silver Dollar because the profile is different. They're two different styles.
They're two different styles, but this one it's cheaper and it drinks better. And so the Silver Dollar, you'll probably wait till it gets a little lower.
Yeah, that one you could probably have two. You'd probably keep two on the shelf because it's cheap, but it's good. And that's the thing is, this is where I go back into Grey Goose a little bit, though, because Grey Goose is anywhere between $35 to $45 a bottle. Goose gets up there a little bit higher in the echelon of the vodkas. Like I said, I'm comparing this to Grey Goose, so at the end of the day, it's going to stay on the shelf no matter what, because I also always have a bottle of Grey Goose on the shelf too.
Right. And so for me, this is, don't ever let that go out of stock.
No, not at all. All right, let's go.
So obviously, just the way we've talked about that's a 5 out of 5 for me on cost. 5 out of 5 for you on cost.
Yeah, because you can't argue with it.
Now, our overall thoughts on this.
Great bottle, worth it. Go buy it. If you're in the Colorado area, it's everywhere in Colorado. Go pick it up if you're out there. If you can
find this bottle, buy it.
Yeah,
it is. Bottle. You are not going to be disappointed.
No, not at all.
With this vodka.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's what I'm looking at for any alcohol realistically. When you're only spending, and I say only, when you're only spending $18 to $22 on a bottle of any alcohol, you're, and a lot of times, okay, let's just be very honest here, you're either gut rot or you're just trying to get drunk. That's just what it is in most cases of reality. Let's be honest about this.
Well, I would disagree. I think there are some cheaper bottles that are exceedingly good.
There are diamonds in the rough, and that's what we're doing is we're finding them. This is definitely one of those ones where do not let the price deter your decision at all.
This is one that, and we've talked about this, the vodkas are often very much cheaper than the browns, the clears.
Well, and here's the thing, though. You should be able to find a good bottle of vodka, I think, anywhere between $25 and $30
easily. However, at the same time, this bottle, to me, as far as the drinkability and the overall thoughts go, is equivalent to this bottle.
Right, and it's very similar. I mean, it meets the known criteria for a vodka. It's 40% 80 proof, like we talked about. I mean, it's water and organic wheat yeast. And they're out of Colorado. And I'm kind of looking at, I mean, there's not a lot else on this. And that's okay, because the bottle, it's not to write home about. But again, it's a straightforward, good, inexpensive vodka that I would recommend just keeping on your shelf.
Yeah. If you like any of the clear liquors, or you
drink vodka at all, it's worth keeping.
Or you think there's a drink out there that you've seen that you kind of want to try, but you're not a big fan of vodka.
That's a good one. I would recommend that.
I would recommend using that one to make the drink.
Absolutely. I wouldn't disagree with you at all. Okay. That's kind of interesting. You got a perfect score again there, buddy.
I did. Another perfect score, but again,
It did good. You can't really. I mean, the only place where it really got me is it lost a point on taste and aroma. And again, the aroma to me personally, and I know it's not for you, that's a tough hurdle. That was a tough hurdle for me to get over. And the overall score, the only reason why I didn't score a 5, it scored a 4.5, is because I just, as much as I really enjoy this one, I think it's a great bottle. That point that it got knocked for the aroma, if you're not someone if I don't have someone like you with me,
you're not going to pick it up.
You're going to smell it, and you're going to put the cork back in it, and you're going to put it back on the shelf. That's the reality of it to me.
And I'll agree. However, and you've taught me this, you got to get over the smell on the cork because it's not necessarily going to transfer to the palate.
No, and that's just it. Snoozing does not transfer to the palate. It does, but it is such a rare occasion to where, and that's why I was able to look past it. At the same time, though, it was a very off-putting aroma.
No, I will agree with you. It can be a very off-putting aroma. I'm like he said, if you pick that one up and you smell the bottle,
just get through it. You'll just get through it.
Ignore the smell.
Yeah,
Don't
basically,
even smell it.
Just pour it and drink it.
Just pour and drink because this is phenomenal. It's great.
But here's the thing, though. We can go the opposite direction, like you said earlier, where the Silver Dollar nosed very beautifully to me, but almost knocked me on my butt. Here we had the opposite effect where the nosing was very, very potent to me, very hairspray kerosene-like, yet when I drink it, it's very smooth and a very tasteful drink. That's why I think we can work both sides of the coin here on this one now.
Well, I think we can. You're right.
But the same could be said for the browns, though. I mean, I've tasted a couple where they nose beautifully, but when you get them on the palate, it's like...
There is one in particular that... And I actually have a vodka to pair with it.
No.
No. This is going to
Don't make me drink that one. Please don't make me drink that one.
We are going to have an episode very shortly.
Don't do that to me.
Where we're both going to die.
I know what he's going to do. Your burps are going to stink so bad.
Well, it's...
I know which one you're doing, dude. I'm scared. But are we doing that for Halloween, in our Halloween episode?
Very possibly.
Oh, Lord. We're going to scare the crap out of our wives and children.
We're going to take that very, very, very horrible
Lord,
bourbon that you did.
Which one?
The one that both of us just did not like at all.
Give me a hint.
I'll have to go point at the bottle because I don't remember what it's called.
I'm trying to remember which one. But I know which one you're talking about on the vodka, and I'm scared. I'm very scared.
And we'll take that vodka, and then we'll have a bad day.
I don't want to have a bad day that night.
Those are the two drinks we've got for you today. Again, both phenomenal drinks.
Good options.
I mean, we got one vodka almost getting 2 perfect scores. One and the brown.
They got perfect on both.
They got perfect scores from both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 2 firsts on this show. One where Chris and I agree wholeheartedly on one drink.
Yep.
And I gave 2 perfect scores in an episode.
That's pretty intense, man.
Like I said, 3 perfect scores on one episode.
That's impressive, dude. Alrighty, folks. Well, have a good night. We'll see you guys back here next time. Our next episode is also going to be our Halloween special. And things, like Justin said, are going to get a little spooky.
Things are going to get a little terrifying.
Don't fear the Reaper.
He might come for us. Now, one thing we like to always mention before we go, always be safe when you drink. If you drink, do not drive. There are many, many, many different ways for you to get home.
Yep.
Never mix your guns and your alcohol together. And as always, like and subscribe if you like what you saw today.
Have a good night, everybody. From both of us here at Double Barrel Podcast, we'll see you next time.